Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ananta. I'll tell you about the resume reality and its types. After today's session, you will be able to recognize the difference between CV and resume. You will be able to explain whether you should use chronological resume or functional resume. You will be able to identify the correct format of your resume and the content that should be included in your resume. You will be able to write a basic resume. You need to understand what is actually the resume reality. Does it give you a job? Or it gives you an interview call? It is actually a first communication made with a prospective employer. It is actually a first impression before your potential employer. So it should be appealing and it should be perfect. Always remember, a recruiter or a HR person takes 8 to 12 seconds to scrutinize or shortlist your resume. Companies every day receive 100 or over 100 resumes. How much time do they have to read your content? So the process begins with the elimination of the candidate. The typos, misspelled words, grammatical errors, incorrect format, these are the reasons for eliminations. They disqualify the candidates by looking at the wrong content or the incorrect format of the resume. So choice is yours. Being qualified, being experienced and having skills, you want to be eliminated or you want to reach to a certain threshold where you can be selected for the interview call. So after the elimination, they look for the content in the resume. Let's understand the difference between CV and resume. Now still, people sometimes call their profile a biodata. What is biodata? It's a biological data which is meant for marriage, where you mention your height, personality, complexion. So do you mention the same thing in your resume and CV also? No. So CV and resume are meant for your job. Now what is the difference between CV and resume? Do you mention your publication of books, research paper, presentation, patent of books in your profile, being a fresher, being a final year student? Or do you mention your summer internship, your skills, your qualification, achievements? You only mention your achievements, qualification, summer internship experience, or any exposure to industry or activities. So when you remove your publication, your patent, teaching experience, or experience of many years, that becomes a resume. So for fresher students or the students who do not have experience, undergraduate students, final year students, they present their resumes. And resume should not be of more than 1 page. Now look for the guidelines of resume. Pay equal attention to layout and content, its format, relevant information, grammar, spellings, and appropriate content of the resume. Let's learn the types of resume. First is functional resume. People with many years of experience or those who have gap or those who started their own business after resigning from their job, they need to present their functional resume. But for the undergraduate students who do not have experience, they have to highlight their education, summer internship and skills. They present their chronological resume, that too in reverse order. And we are going to learn reverse chronological resume today. Now let's learn about the appearance of the resume. As I have already mentioned, the resume which are easy to read are generally accepted. I have seen many students, they are not consistent in spacing, font, size and style of their writing. You have to choose one space, that is either 1 or 1.5, and you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent about the font size, that should be 10.5 or 12, between 10.5 and 12, and the heading should be of 14 points, style, Calibri, Arial or Times New Roman. I have shortlisted many resumes in placement department where I have seen that the students used Times New Roman only. But there are some students who were eliminated just because of their not being consistent in using the same style. They have used either Calibri in the beginning or Arial in the middle or Times New Roman at the end of your resume. Now printing and paper. You should use laser printed and high quality bond paper, and it should be in one page only. Let's learn about the content of your resume. You have to begin with the contact information, then objective, experience, education, professional skills, and your accomplishments. The content information. I have taken two examples of the headings here. In the first example, the name of the school is written in full. The campus and the place is written in full. And he has written the email ID, which is a professional one. But in another example, he has used abbreviation of his college and the abbreviation of the place also. And the email ID is also not professional. So the first example is actually a good example, and the second example should be avoided. You don't have to write the heading of your resume like this. At the top of your resume is the heading where you mention your contact information. You may use any of these formats depending on the space in your page. Now, the last example suggests if you are staying in hostel or you are staying as a PG, you may mention your temporary address where you want to receive your interview call letter. But if you want to highlight that you belong to New Delhi or some other place, you need to mention your permanent address. That suggests the prospective employer that you want to return to that place and you want to be posted there. Heading. What you need to include in your contact details. Your first name, then the last name. Address. Use your correspondent address where you want to receive your interview calls or interview call letters. Don't include international phone numbers or international contact details. Phone number, list number that has voicemail. In case you are not in a position to receive the interview call, the message can be recorded so that you should not miss this opportunity. Email, always avoid unprofessional email ID that you have seen in previous examples. Objective. Now your objective should have a positive and a strong statement. It should include your strength. Tailor the statement according to the job posted. You can refer to the advertisement also. I have seen many advertisements. They mention the skills they are looking for. They also mention the CGPA that they are looking for. You can draft your objective according to the advertisement. For example, here, a position in employment services that applies and management sales, recruiting talent, and improve and contribute to the company's profile. Here, the candidate has not highlighted what he wants from company. Rather, he mentions what the company is looking for and how you can contribute to the company. Being an HR, I'll say, oh, he has management skills. Okay, he wants to contribute to the organization also. I'll select that person. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that objective is optional. You may tailor and you may change your objective according to the job position. At times, company may look for some other skills. You may include those skills here. And if you are posting your resume, which can be observed by various and a large number of employers, for example, Shine.com or Naukri.com, you can remove your objective or you can write a general statement as an objective. Because if you are mentioning only 3 or 4 skills, probably they are not looking for. Your resume will not be shortlisted. Now, avoid general statement like a position that allows me to use my education, my qualification, my experience where I can gain something. Now, being an employer, what will I think? Okay, he wants to come to my organization to learn something, to gain something. He doesn't want to contribute to my organization. A position where I can gain experience. So he is looking for human resource field only, and I don't want somebody in human resource field. So I'll reject that profile or resume. Experience. You may include paid and unpaid experience. I have students who generally ask me, ma'am, whether I should include the experience I have gained while working with my father, but I don't have any experience certificate. Of course, you can include